everybody. This is part 15. So my voice has gone funny. I think I'm getting a cold coming, so I'm going to talk like this. So I have put splashes, pigments, and everything else on this. I've just got to do a few more effects, and then she's done. I hope I haven't turned this into a giant mud ball. This is so outside my comfort zone. NATO stuff is so much nicer to weather because it's not really dark mud. I have issues with dark mud. I don't like dark mud. I get worried it just all starts looking a bit meh. But I think it's all right. Anyway, if you want to know how I did this and completely stuffed up the paintwork, watch to the end of the video. And then there'll be a grand revealing of it all put together, all the other little teeny effects I'm going to do on it, and then that's done. I'm not sure T-72 is everybody's cup of tea. Cup of tea. Sorry. I'm not feeling well. So yeah, look, let me get my ugly mug off of here. And then I'm going to try and get to it's Mothering Sunday? It's Easter Sunday today. Oh, I was going to say, when you do all this, again, make sure you have references and stuff. I think this looks, so it's a bit dirty. I think this looks like that, which is what I'm planning on. And that, I know it's got green on the barrel. I don't do that, it just looks a bit odd. It looking more manky. This is more damaged, you see. And what I wanted to do as a basis of doing this and weather it without it getting too damaged. I think I may have gone slightly past where I wanted to, but I don't know if you guys can tell me. So yeah, so like I said, always use reference. And if you look there, that one's got much more lighter colour on the wheels because it's dried up a bit, but you know, it depends on what type of year as well, isn't it? Type of year? What time of year it is. So whenever you do the weathering, always think about when you're doing it for. And this was bergamot. So around, what time of year was that? I think it's winter, wasn't it, I think. So yeah, look, I'm going to put this together now. I will see you soon. And have a nice Easter Sunday. TTFN. Right, I've put the tank up on here so you can see it a bit better, not have to hold it. Here's my little mixture. There's the grass and there's the leaves. I'll show you how to do those in a minute. So I'm using Russian earth, pigment, turned dirt. So I'm going to try and get it sort of like around that sort of way. And then see, don't get in the way. I'm just using it, and I'm not using a lot. It's again just to build it up a bit. And mainly in the corners, because if you think about it, centrifugal motion, when a wheel goes round, most of the mud and stuff will be sent outwards. Okay, so it's just this. I'm not going to bore you to death, and that's what you do. So I'm doing it on the wheels first. See, that's all. And I think, again, when it dries off, this will dry darker and dry a bit lighter. Look like that. And then I'm going to use splashing really to unify all of this. Okay. Really, what you should do while I'm at it is here, is you can make it a bit more, but you won't see under here. So I'm not even bother with under here because it's not really going to be seen. See what I mean? So you can do that. You can do streaking on here as well, but you're not going to see it because it's, you know, it's not going to see it. So I don't see a point wasting time. Look, let me carry on with this, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's finished. Right, everybody. I'll show you the wheels in a minute. Well, I've got my new mixture up here. I'm going to now make up, again, a bit more earth, Russian earth and mud. I'm going to go around the front and the back, adding the little bits that I was going to show what I mean. So I'm going to add some bits of mud. What we're going to do is, I'm going to try it out first around here because I don't want to mess it up anywhere else. So we're just going to put it along here. See what I'm doing? Where it will probably get stuck on the... And don't be afraid to use these as what's the word? The streaking as well, because you can. Because that's what you want it to look like. You want it to look like this has kind of happened. Let's put a bit in that corner. So I think I'm not going to do the whole bottom because you're not going to see it. But this is just a general idea of this. What you're trying to really do is create a little bit of texture. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually, don't like that. Let's get rid of that. Always start on the bottom of the hole because I want to always have some odorless thinner as well. See, because then you can get rid of anything you don't want. Or if your brush is ever so slightly with odorless thinners, like I say again, bring this down a bit. Okay, and that's all I'm going to do there. Actually, I'm not going to put a little teeny bit, maybe there. But I'm sure that would get junk up there, wouldn't it? Let's do the other side. So do you see? And that's what I'm going to do at the back. Alright, so the other thing 135th model does not have to worry about bits falling out the tank. So yeah, so I'm going to do the rest, and I'll show you the back now. Right, and now he's going to put a bit of this mix on the back. So literally around where those nuts are. And like I said, this is all going to be unified with splashing. Alright, I've got my airbrush up and running ready. And you see how it's mixing with the other layers that I've done? Which is what you kind of want. You don't want it to kind of, yeah? And it's got tonal variation. That's what I'm looking for. See, look at it. For me to get this, well, I want you to see it. 135th model lifts it up in his hands on a nice same jobs. Me, I need a crane. So it's like round here, wouldn't it be? You probably won't see it because it's all underneath the actual tank. But this is generally where it would chuck up, wouldn't it? If you think about it. And you just got to leave it dry. It just takes some time doing this. Now I know I should. Oh, I don't know about the log. The log you can fix all the time because you just have to sand it back off again. This is what I mean with the leaves. Oh, I don't know if you can see that. I'll do it the other side. You can stick the leaf shapes and stuff. Let me see if I can hold it up. So if you get the leaves, bit of the mix. You see, you can sort of stick little leaves to it, which is kind of cool because I think that would happen in real life, wouldn't it? Put it there. It's on the tracks, it's stuffed because I've got to come off, but you see, you can just see some leaves in it. So I mean, don't use good brushes for doing weathering. Now I was going to get some odorless thinner. I might use a different brush for this. And again, just going to blend that a bit better. Now don't worry, this here will dry off again. And it will blend. But you want it to all look like it's kind of... You can get away with no hard edges. Sometimes there's hard edges. Oh, there's a good leaf there. Hope that stays. Sometimes there's hard edges, isn't there? But not. And always remember, downward strokes. All right. Now I'm going to leave all this to dry, I think, before I do the splashing. Rightio. I'm going to now use turn dirt splashes. Not a lot, just to blend everything. All right, just to blend everything. So it's doing, it's just blending everything. It's not a lot. See what I mean? Anyway, look, let me do this and I'll show you it all done. That's what you have to do. Right, so I'm going to show you a quick little bit of splashing on the rear hole. So, blow my leaf off. Bit annoying. And when you do splashing, think to yourself, well, where would it be splashed? Oops. Got to do this on camera. And it's subtle. I just want it all to blend. Yeah? You know, it's like, again, when you... Oh, it's a bit too much. But if that happens, again, just get some thinners and you can get rid of it. You see? Like I say, what I'm going to do is I'm going to slightly soften some of these. And it's all about subtlety, because like I say, I don't want this to be too heavily weathered. You've got to be very gentle, very gentle. There we are. I'm kind of happy with it. Just do a little teeny bit. That'll do. You can turn the mix that you did have, that you'd used for the other weathering, into a little bit of splashing too. So, you know, it doesn't have to just be splashing products. What I do want to do is stick another leaf on. Right, I'm kind of happy with that. Let's just get that brushed correct. That's not quite what I wanted there. Right. Now I'm just going to let this dry, and I might stick some leaves on with a little bit of PVA glue. So I think it looks cool. But I'm going to put them there just to show you what I mean. I'm going to use some of these leaves as well on the top hole. All right. And always remember, try and get stuff to go down. Right, I'm going to leave that at that and let that dry, and then you can see what it all looks like when it's done. Okay, everybody. I've done the wheels now, so hopefully you can see there. Like I said, I'm going to chip some of this off and put silver on it, aluminium probably on some of the wheels, just to give that look. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to use an oil brusher. So this one is a little bit lighter than I wanted. And I'm just going to oil brush down along these corners here, a little bit here, just to darken it for the other mud that I'm putting on. Okay. Now, like I say, with an oil brusher, you can do it from the pot. So just put it on and use reference, because if you look, it sort of goes some little bits along here, and then sort of a little bit down there. And then you let it dry for a minute, and get a brush, just moisten a little teeny bit in odorless thinners, and then blend it. And like I say, you know, use your reference material. If you don't like it, blend it even more. You see, so it's the start of this around here. Right, so if you can see, it's all done on this side. That's all I'm going to do. I might put a little bit along here, I don't know. Let me have a think first. But so I decided as well to add a little bit of Starship filth to it. And then I mixed it up in my paint palette. I remember the name of it. Hey! And then this is again a base for what's going to come next. This is not the finished result. This is the base. Back in a minute, I'll do the other side and I'll show you the whole thing done before we prep for putting on the next effect, which is this colour and splashes. Okay? All right. Right, I thought I'd put a little teeny bit of mud on here. Sorry, background, the kids getting ready for going to bed and stuff. So this is just MIG oil brushes, and I put a bit of Starship filth in it as well. All right, just to bring it down a little bit, and I'll show you what it looks like in a sec. Then we're going to blend this. So that's my boy. I don't think that's because why didn't anybody ever watch this? If you ever get to the end of this video, it'd be amazing. So leave it for a minute, and then you can start blending it up. So yeah, so if you blend up, also sometimes it's effective is just a stippling effect. If you get too much on, like I say, it's oils, so you can come back to this in like 30 minutes if you don't quite like how it's gone. And adjust it. I'll show you what I mean. So, to get a bit of odorless thinner, I can take all that back off again, you see. So it's not a problem. Alright, so, and I think it looks alright. I put a little teeny bit around the engine deck as well. This is everywhere where I've put the dust coat, the one that looks a bit grey. So if you see here, that's dust. I'm going to put dirt around there as well with oils. Now, you must leave this to dry for quite a while because otherwise, if you keep touching it, it'll just all come off. It'll take a good 2 days, I reckon, for this to properly dry up. Yeah, so look, I'll see you soon, and we'll start on that top hole and get this done. Bye, everybody. I've had to wait this to dry for a bit because if you do any effects with oil paints and you want to do other oil effects, you have to wait until they really dry, or else you just take them off with the odorless enamel thinner. So if you can see on this picture, there's it's really windy outside. It's really windy. Anyway, there's streaking going down, but there's also streaking going across. So I'm going to do a little teeny bit of that now on here, and then I'm going to start on the top deck, and then hopefully it's done. All right. There we go. So can you see it's very subtle again? It's just sideways streaking. When it dries, you'll see it a bit more, but you can't do this until the other streaking's dried. Otherwise, you'll just take that off. All right, and I left it about 2 weeks actually. I'm getting a new iPhone, because this one, it doesn't film as well as my iPhone 6. It does my head in. So anyway, there's that. I'm going to finish the tank off. So what I've been doing is I've been adding a bit of the oil paint to where mud would be washed off in rain into like crevices and stuff. It works a bit like a pin wash, but with mud. So I'm going to add a bit now down here and down here, and it's basically you just get the brush in your mix that you're using. I know the oil brushes come with brushes, but all mine have been a bit naff. And this is where my microphone gave up, and I didn't realise. As you can tell, I'm overdubbing this on Sunday evening because I still sound like a Dalek. I'm just showing how you put the oil brusher down around the edges. It's a bit like using a pin wash, but with the oil brusher, and then bringing it downwards to look like kind of caked on old mud, really. And then if you look here, it's just showing you the final results of it. Everybody, so this is the oil paints on the whole. Can you see here where I've used the oil paint and I've blended it, and here I'm going to blend it on the dust. I'm still going to use some pigments on this, but can you see the difference with the oil paints and the slightly more muddy look? I'm not going for massive muddy looks. Alright, so if you can see that. So here I've blended oil paint, got a little bit along here, I forgot about. I'm going to blend this here, okay, and it's really just a little bit, put a little bit of odorless thinner on, and the microphone turned off again here. So hello again, everybody. Have a nice Sunday. No. And it's just blending again. You see, so it's just, you know, over the top of the dust effect. And you can use every oil brushes like a filter. That's all of the oil work. If you noticed, I've put the chipping that was in the wheels on the edge, and then what I did was, after I did it, because it was a afterthought of doing the wheels, I put some dark wash on just to bring the aluminium down a little bit. I might even put a little bit more. There's a little bit of chipping on the exhaust port, if you can see there. That was chipping there. And yeah, so I've just got to put some pigments on the top, some fake leaves, little bits and bobs, and then she's done. But I think it looks alright. This is going to be treated more when I do the pigments. There's a bit more pigment work on it here. The oil is just a pre-base towards some of the pigments. Yeah, so I think she looks right. Anyway, look, I'm going to get off this and crack on. Everybody, I'm just going to add the dusting to the top hole now with pigments. Alright, various ones. So I'm used rubble dust and European earth, and I'm going to mix them up a bit, get them where I want it, and then use pigment fixer to hold them in place. Okay, so literally you get a brush, doesn't need to be a good one. You think this is never going to stay, but it does with pigment fixer, promise. Put this around here, and I'll show you when it's done. Alright, so I don't want to bore you all. And what we do is you use odorless enamel thinners first on top of this. Okay, so I'll show you that in a second. Right, everybody, that's it all put on. That'll all blow straight off now. There will be slight discoloration if you left it like that. Sorry about that. You can hear my kids. We've just bought them a computer thing. I can't remember what it's called now. A Wii, not Wii, something like that. Now, if you can see, I've done it all so it's not even. There's bits and bobs. And now I'm going to put this on and put some odorless enamel thinner and soak it into the pigment I've put on. Then I decide what I want and what I don't want, and rub off what I don't want, and then fix it when I've got what I wanted, okay? Let me just quickly do that and I'll show you. And it's all just put on with a brush. That's all kind of regular, but try and think where crew would step and the rest of it. I think that looks all right. You don't want it looking uniform. Okay? Might add a little teeny bit more around to it actually. 2 seconds. And then what you now do is you just get the thinner. And you just do this. And then when it dries, you can wipe off whatever you like. We can move around a bit if you want. And then you use fixer on what you want to keep. Right, so that's with the thinner bottom. All right, so that's not fixed. That's not fixed. You can rub this off most of it. You'll still have, if you don't like some of it, there'll still be a little bit of a mark there, but that's all right. So I'll wait until that dries now, which takes about a good hour or two. Don't try, it takes a while. And then once that's done, I'm going to pigment fix it. And then we've got to add some splashes and some little teeny bits and bobs. And then she's done, thank you. Okay, so there she is. So splashes will unify this here. Okay, and splashes on the wheels and stuff and on the rear. But this was really dealing with the top deck. And that will dry up and it'll be nice and mottled. Because you tend to find around tanks, it's around, especially Russian ones, it's around the turret ring. Hi everybody. I just bought an iPhone 15, so I'm hoping this will be a bit better filming wise. Because it's an iPhone 15 Pro. So yeah, this is all the pigments. They've dried now. And I've just now got to use pigment fixer to fix them. But before you do that, you can go around and you can remove what you don't like. Or what you do like. So you can use one of your egg sponges. Or, you know, nick your wife's. If there's something you don't like, you can just move it a bit, you see. I'll show up here. Don't quite like that. I'll take that off there. And the pigment I used was earth and city dust. Where is it now? Yeah, city dark dust, because Berkhamut was a city, wasn't it? And, well, you know, and the mud and things. So I've got to do some splashing. Now, hopefully this is all right. I don't have a microphone anymore because I forgot it's got a different connector, hasn't it? So hopefully you can hear this, but hopefully the film quality is better. So I'm going to order one of those new microphones with the next connector, and hopefully it'll be here and you can't hear me creaking. So yeah, so let me just put pigment fixer on, and yeah, then we'll do some splashing. When you put the fixer on, it's exactly the same. You just put it on here, and then you just douse the pigment that you want in pigment fixer. And then when it dries, it'll be exactly the same colour as it is now, but just hopefully not coming off. Now, with the pigment fixer, make sure you shake it up, because it's just enamel, I think matte varnish, suspended in odorless thinners. Alright, so really shake it, because you don't want it, sometimes it settles on the bottom. It won't fix otherwise, okay? I was going to put some in my paint mixing tray, and I'm just going to lay the brush onto where I want to keep. Okay, so, can you see that the pigment fixer has a slight colour to it, to the enamel thinner? So you just soak your brush, and you just do what you do previously. Try not to touch it too much, because otherwise it'll just all come off. You see, that's what you have to do. I'm going to unrest the tank and then I will show you the finish. Right, that's all the pigments fixed with Pigment Fixer. I've got his mother effects, but I'm just going to start off with the splashing. So let me put this on the stand and we'll get that done. Right, so I've started with some splashing. I'm going to start with dry steppe first and then move on to turn dirt. Alright, you can do it with an airbrush, or you can do it with the old-fashioned way with a toothpick or something. Make sure you have some dried, some odorless enamel thinners with you, in case there's something you don't like. Then you can like drag them down a bit. Yeah, I'll get rid of it, and then I'm going to put some turn dirt on. Okay, this is virtually done. I've got to still put the track pins in at the end, but let me just demonstrate on this bit. If you get some splashes on your headlights, don't wipe them off. But if it's on the main IR beam light, I'd wipe that off, because it wouldn't really go up there, would it? Also, these paintbrushes are the best. I was trying with a flathead one for a bit more control, but at least you just need a knackered one of these. And if you want, put a little teeny bit of thinner into your splashes, you know, odorless thinner, because if it's too thick, it won't splash. Always check it on paper first when you're doing splashing. Just see if it's what you want. And get the first bit off. Now hopefully the turned dirt splashing will hit and mingle with the dry steppe, which will then hopefully make it look less obvious but give it some texture. Alright, so let me finish this and I'll show you the finished thing. Right everybody, yeah, sorry my voice is a bit funny, I've got a cold coming or something. So that's all the splashing done. And the only thing I've got to do now is put some wet effects, some oil and petrol effects, especially near the fuel tanks, they look quite cool. But all the pigments now are on, they're not going anywhere. I've just got to wait this to dry a bit now. So, yeah. I'm really quite out of my comfort zone with this because I hope I've not just made this look like a muddy mess. I don't think so. I've been using reference, and I think it's pretty right of what I've done. So if you look there on that Polish tawdy, see the upper decks in the soil, it's got like lighter coloured dirt on it, so I've added that for a bit of contrast. Yeah, so it's just odds and sods now, and then I can box this up, and I might correct that a little bit. I don't like that, but yes, it's the whole thing. Anyway, look, I'm going to try and bump this out now for Easter Sunday. This is going to be a long one again. I do apologise. And then this will be done. I just don't think T-72s are a big thing. I should have just done another round or something. And I know I've got to do my Challenger to show you exactly what I've done to it, rather than that weird thing I did when I first started. So look, I think this is alright. I think it's alright. I don't think it's too disastrous. Anyway, look, have a lovely day. And have a nice Easter. Bye.